It is quite busy in the inbox, so we're going to do a quiz. I think what we'll do, because I was going to do it on Kahoot, and then I haven't got round to putting it onto Kahoot, so I've got it on a piece of paper in front of me, but I think we might do that for next week, because I've got time to put it into a proper format, which would be good. And actually then today to answer any questions you might have. Lorraine, have you got anything at the moment?
Yes, I have. I just asked you last week about, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me okay? Yeah. Our greenkeepers last week, I asked about the statutory sick pay for them. So they work Monday to Friday, contracted hours, and then at weekends they have green shifts where they do additional, they get paid £70 per shift, depending on whatever hours they work. So always under 4 hours, but they get paid a £70 shift. What happens with sick pay with that? If they're entitled to full club sick pay, should they be getting that full £70? And if they're under a year's service and they're only entitled to statutory, I'm presuming they just get that statutory amount from day one.
Yeah, so you're looking at the average weekly earnings.
Yeah.
They get paid statutory sick pay in their first year. They don't get paid £70, they get paid statutory sick pay for the week, which is £123.25.
Yeah.
So the £70 is irrelevant. Yeah, but for the ones under a year, yeah, it's just statutory sick pay. Above a year, it would be, you would normally be working on, so you're saying they're only calling in sick on a weekend when they're scheduled to work? Or how is it?
Well, I'm not saying people are doing that. I'm just wondering what the correct thing to do is. There have been cases where they've agreed to a weekend shift and they have been unwell, so they've called in sick. I'm just wondering if we should still, if we have to still, we haven't been paying them that weekend shift rate of £70, but I'm wondering if we should be.
No, it's not the individual day rate that you should be paying. It's what is their average weekly thing. So the full pay is what is a week. And then you would have all the occasional weekend and you do it over sort of 52 weeks. And it's like if they call in sick, it's going to be then that weekly wage divided by the number of days they're off sick. So if they're off for 2 days sick, so it'd be 2/7 of whatever their average weekly amount is.
But for those with over a year's service who usually get full club sick pay, can we only pay them? Sorry,
the ones that are over. So this is not the ones under 1 year and get SSP.
Yeah.
Yes, so that's fine. The ones over a year would get their normal weekly wage if they are off sick for a week. So if they're only
but how about if they're just off for 1 day? Yeah.
They get 1/7 of the week. Yeah. Because it's 1 day.
Okay. So I don't have to, we don't have to.
But it's the average amount. It's not the £70. It's what is their average weekly things. I'm not good on mental maths at this stage. But if it was £250 a week, 1/7 of that is whatever it is. So if they're off for 1 day at the weekend, when they're scheduled to work, they get 1/7 of their weekly amount. They don't get the £70. Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's fantastic. Thank you.
If they start doing that, obviously, if more of a pattern emerges, then we can start doing that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. What was I going to say? Another question again that says whether you can make people get a doctor's note from day one. You absolutely can, but there is a cost to that. Even if you can Google that while we're on the call, how much it is to get a sick note. It's over 7 days, it's free of charge, as we all know. Under 7 days, it's something around £35 time, and the company or the club would have to pay for that because there's no legal requirement for the employee to provide it. So if you want to do that because there's a problem with sickness absence in your department, or in a set department, or even in the company as a whole, you can do that, but it's going to get expensive with those sick notes because people are quite good at being convincing, and doctors don't have time to be Sherlock Holmes and they just take it at face value. So yeah, so you just need to bear that in mind. Natalie, have you got any questions? Or are you gloriously happy today?
I am happy. We just had one today, so we've got someone off sick with back issues that have been going on for years. It's fine. I don't question it. I know he's got back issues. He's waiting for injections. So today's the 7th day, and he tried to get an appointment with his GP yesterday. Can't be seen until the 19th of May. So in this scenario, I'm fine with that because, and I've actually forwarded into our employee assistance program, see if you can get one that way. But I'm just thinking ahead. If you get an employee that goes, "Well, I just can't get a doctor's appointment for the next 3 weeks," what are they supposed to do?
The doctor will always backdate it. So
yeah, I know, but okay. If it's someone that we're not convinced about, and let's say he's fine next week because his back's fine again, comes back to work, but we still don't have this fit note. How do we stand with SSP?
Okay, so the situation you just described is very unusual, probably because he's insisting or needs to be seen by the doctor. Even the most obstreperous, not helpful employee we've had previously who's off sick, they get the sick note within 3 or 4 days of the previous one expiring, because not everybody needs to be seen. He's obviously got 19th of May because he probably needs to be seen. If they don't need to be seen and doesn't want to see most people, then they just do it. They do either a telephone consultation or they just issue it via it's requested saying, "I've still got that thing I talked to you about on Monday via the chat function, and I need a sick note for a week to get well." And they're like, "Yep, there's the sick note." So while the 19th of May is obviously a real thing for him, we've not come across that with any of the other employees, even the most difficult ones who are trying to play the system. It's never taken, 3 weeks to get a sick note. It has been a question of 2 or 3 days. Yeah. And it gets backdated. And we do say to them, if we don't have it, you'll be on unpaid absence. And it's amazing how quickly a sick note comes.
Yeah. Okay. All right then.
Yeah. Great. Dawn, are you okay? You've got questions?
Oh, just wish I wasn't doing HR any more days, I'm in one of those days. It's our first month as well doing payroll with the SSP and stuff. Ours is set up with a Monday to Friday schedule, and really it should be a 7-day. So we've sort of rectified that because that's been quite complicated as well. So, I think it's going to take a while for us to get all into the swing of it. And again, we've got the rule of they've got to do a return to work. They've got to fill out their SC2 form, but then somebody's gone off sick yesterday, which is the payroll cutoff. And it's like, well, you sort of trust them. They're going to do it, so, okay, we're going to allow that.
Okay. Well, self-certification, you probably have to, pay them. That's the thing. But once you get to sick notes, we don't. So I'm going to say, particularly in the golf clubs, they are particularly bad at providing sick notes. So that's why we very much know we don't pay them. We don't assume it's going to come. We'll do another back run if we need to for that person, but we're not going to pay them if there's not an actual sick note.
I've got somebody who's had, she was in the UK and she said she's got tuberculosis of some kind. I can't remember the actual form. I don't know.
Please stay away from work. Yes.
No, it's not. It's, I've looked it up. It's not a contagious one. But anyway, she's gone to India
some lunch for me.
For treatment now. And that's where she's from originally. And she's given me a fit note from India, which is a lot more detailed than our UK fit notes. So I've just had to obviously take that as, and apparently she's going to have an operation, but I don't know when that's going to be or anything. Wow. So I'm just looking at the pay period, and obviously just she's a 0 hour, 4 days average. So I think you said the calculation, wasn't it 12 weeks average that you would then?
Yes. Yeah, we're going to see what comes through, because as we go through this, there'll be things that get challenged and then hopefully put a little bit more clarity on it. But 12 weeks for 0 hours should be fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's work in progress, isn't it?
Yes, unfortunately. And then there's all the other things that are coming out as well. So, just when we're reeling from this. Exactly. Good. Okay. I think the big thing this week for me was, we had a sexual harassment case at Golf Club. It was painful. It was working through the weekend to get them to do the right thing because, what the gentleman done, so the head chef, 46 years old, so no ignorance could be claimed at any point. He's a senior manager. One of the female bar staff was kneeling down, picking something up. He went up to her, put his hands on her head, pulled it forward, and did a pelvic thrust into her face. And there were two separate witnesses, one of whom was a man. So, of course, it's believed because a man saw it. If it had just been women seeing it, then it would have been a misunderstanding and you don't understand. And it was just a joke and blah, blah, blah. And that's what the guy said. The woman said, don't you ever fucking do that to me again. And he said, oh, it's just a joke. And I'm like, no. And they're like, so do we need to investigate? Why are you not just, honestly, you've got two witnesses. We're not doing a full process here. You've got 7 months service. We should be dismissing. So fine. They decided they need to do an investigation, which corroborated not only that incident, but other incidents from this guy. He'd been asking the younger female bar staff about their sex lives and whether they actually, were fulfilled in their sex lives and all these types of things. And nobody had ever pulled him up on it. Nobody, the supervisors knew about it and they had not raised it with anybody. There has been a lot of turnover at the top level in that club. So maybe they were like, I don't quite know who to tell. But it was when we had the report, which was an 8-page report from somebody with an HR background. They'd done this. Great. It absolutely confirms that this guy's got to go. And I'm talking to my contact and he says, oh yeah, but he is such an asset to the club. Not he was such an asset to the club. Or I thought he was an asset to the club. He is such an asset to the club. He's such a good cook and, such a shame. It's like, he deliberately did offensive things and you are still talking about him as if this is just a minor side issue. This is who he is. How he is with his subordinates is who he is. The fact that he's always nice to the bosses, to the members who could fire him, that's his pretend persona. His real persona is what he does when, nobody's watching. And you're still going, oh, such an asset. And it's like, hopefully now it took, I think the termination thing I sent through Wednesday morning, again, that they've done it now, but they were like, well, he does the cleaning as well. What do we do about the cleaning? Well, you terminate the cleaning contract. Okay, but his wife could do it. So, sorry, he's married. Not that it makes any difference, as we know. But his wife could do it. Yeah, but he usually does it. So it's like he cannot be in the clubhouse. He cannot be in the clubhouse. You cannot have him there. You have to terminate the contract. Oh, what are we going to do about cleaning? Oh my God. I really don't think that's the main thing you should be focusing on at this stage. You should be focusing on the fact that your staff have been living in a harassing, hostile environment for months, it turns out, and none of you noticed. Honestly. Sorry. So there you go. That would be my big thing at the moment. Right. Eve, did you manage to find out how much they are?
Yes, so it actually depends on the GP surgery. So not fixed that. Depending on obviously private service on the NHS, it depends. I think 15 to 40 pounds.
35 to 40 pounds.
50 pounds.
Right. Well, there you go. So it could get expensive, 15 to 40 pounds, and yeah, you probably have to pay that before they issue it as well. So not great. If you do have any issues with sickness, absolutely flag them up because, like we all know now, we're paying from day one. We need to make sure those processes, the return to work interviews, the welfare meetings, where we're being very fair and reasonable, but we need to be getting onto record what people are doing. And if we need to make reasonable adjustments, fine, but putting it in writing and then making sure they adhere to them going forward. Okay. Any other questions from anybody? Everybody else is fine. Some people have turned off their cameras, so they must be gloriously happy, so that's good. Yes, like I said, it is a bit busy. I'm not sure. At the beginning of the week was fine. I think people were still on holiday, and they're not on holiday. So I'm going to zoom off and go and deal with some of the issues. And as always, if you've got anything, just send us through an email and we'll give you a call. Otherwise, we'll speak to you next week. Have a lovely weekend. Bye.
Thanks for watching. If you want a free peace of mind call with us to discuss your policies, handbook, and any burning staff issues in your business, click the link in the description below.